Welcome to Be Great Today. I am Jonathan Bloom, or as I'm also known in World of Warcraft, Frasley Sparkspam. Today I want to talk about starting a podcast or a new project. Many people I know have ideas for things. Some want to do podcasts, some want to do streaming on YouTube, and some just want to start new businesses. I say, look at where you are. Are you in your comfort zone right now? Are you afraid to leave your comfort zone because you are unsure of where you're going to go, what you're going to do? What is your desire? Do you desire working on the project enough to work on it even in the times when it may be hard or you're struggling with it? What are the hurdles that you have to jump through to get this project off the ground? I started Be Great Today and my other podcasts out of kind of a desire to communicate, a desire to improve my communication skills, and a desire to inspire people. I was finding that we live in an age where there's so much negativity. There's so much entertainment that is not beneficial. I set out to create something different. I wanted to create something where people can listen to something, forget about the world for a while. When I decided to start a podcast, I was nervous at first. I was thinking, I won't be able to set aside the time for it. I'm already doing all these other things. Why would I add another thing to my currently busy schedule? Then in January, I was asked to be on a podcast called All Things Azeroth as a guest. I really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. I was very nervous the first time. I did not know what I was doing. I was asking myself, are you crazy for doing this? Then I was asked to be on a couple more times. It was an honor to be on the show. Then I started getting that desire for podcasting, the desire to show what I'm passionate about every week. One day I was on Twitter on Frasley, and I was talking with one of the podcasters who I know. They were launching a new monthly project. I jokingly said, "Oh, you're launching a podcast called Frazzlecast." And I was like, that sounds like a good idea. So then I got the domain name. I realized, this is real. I'm about to do this. What do I do? So over time, I started looking at different podcasting hosts, podcast recording. What do I want to do with it? There are many things I did not know when I first started, and I've been changing things as they go along. But I started on a Tuesday. Thursday, I recorded. I had an issue with the first episode, which has now been fixed in later recordings. I had the podcast submitted by, I think, Saturday or Sunday. Then I just started setting a weekly schedule of doing it. I've been learning a lot. Tomorrow night, as of this recording, I will be recording episode 18 of that podcast. I've learned a lot, but I'm glad I did not wait to start it. I'm glad that I kind of jumped in. And then as I was figuring out how to swim with the podcast, I developed new techniques, new skills. I'm still learning. Episode 100 of this podcast. Again, I'm thinking big because I'm making this a priority in my life. But episode 100 will be way different than episode 4 of this podcast. I'm putting quality and effort into each podcast, but I am starting it, jumping out of my comfort zone. I started Frasley Report because I wanted to try a shorter form content, something that I could produce, add a little bit of comedy to it. As I was working on the Frasley Report, I also was thinking, what if I were to do a weekly inspirational podcast every week? That's why I called that Be Great Today. This podcast has inspired me. This past Sunday, I learned how to drive a manual transmission. At first, that morning, I'd already scheduled doing this with Eric, but I was like, I don't know. I don't want to do this. I was terrified. I almost backed out of it. But then I was like, I'm telling people to jump out of their comfort zone, go past their fears, and I'm going to chicken out. Jonathan, you can't do that. I had a blast. I did not perfect the manual transmission. You can't really perfect anything. I had some jerkiness. It's a skill that if I get an opportunity to drive again, I will have to keep working on. But wow, trying something new was fun. I finally learned how to drive stick shift. It was amazing. So yeah, jump out of your comfort zone, no matter what project it is. Have a desire to do it on the weeks where you don't want to do it, the weeks where time wants to jump in your face. This week, I've got different things coming on, and I'm like, okay, I will record these on a Monday morning, and that way I will be able to edit those the rest of the week. Find that desire. Find what drives you. Find what you will be able to do at all times. Jump over the hurdles. Look at the obstacles. Don't just let them scare you away from doing any project that you want to do. Find ways that you can overcome those obstacles. And again, learn the whole way along. Learning things, don't ever stop improving. I'm still learning. I'm still improving. And I will be learning and improving. I've been dancing for 9 years and I don't intend to stop. I keep improving. I've got things I keep having to work on. That's just the way life is. Anything that you do, you never stop learning. This has been Be Great Today. I am Jonathan Bloom, or as I'm known in World of Warcraft, Frasley Sparks Band. Have an awesome day. You can find us at be-great.today, and I will see you here next Sunday. Have an awesome week.